Colton RV here. Today I'm showing the 2020 Outlaw, the 29S, toy hauler Class C. Another beautiful day in Buffalo. What is it, May 11th? 39 degrees and drizzling, so that's why I was waiting inside for this to start. A few things to talk about on the outside that will go around. First, side view cameras built right into the mirror. It's a great feature. It gives you a nice angle. When you flip your blinker on, you can see directly down the side of the coach. Make sure you're not coming too close to a curb or to any light pole. Power awning, a huge awning, 21 foot I believe. Has a support in the middle, so when it's up like it is, you're not going to have a sag at all in the middle. The windows, frameless. They open from the bottom on a day like today. Not that you'd want to in 39 degrees, but if it's raining, you can leave them opened up without any water getting in, again, because they do open from the bottom instead of sliding across. Outside entertainment here, underneath the awning, as well as the sound bar that is hooked up to the TV. You can also use it as a radio. Outlets. You got your fresh tank fill here. And then more storage. It's a rotocast plastic is the name of the stuff. No fabric, no carpets inside the outside storage compartments. Not going to get moldy and mildewy. Moving down, you've got outside spotlights. When you are opening this up, say at night, and you wanted to put your motorcycle, four-wheeler, lights, or whatever into the garage. As well as here, you've got a propane quick connect for cooking, grilling outside. Bring your RV specific grill. You have the propane line already run. And it is raining out, so we'll check it out from the inside. I don't want to get too much water in there. Moving around to the back, we're all set up to tow with your Class 3 hitch and your 7-way plug. You have a backup camera on top of the side view cameras. You can have that on and running as you're traveling down the road. It's constantly looking behind you. You can have a good view behind you. If you're towing something, flat towing, or just want to see what's going on back there. Ladder as well, standard, and a one-piece TPO roof up top. Around. You have, this is actually an exhaust vent for the garage. I'll show you that on the inside. Pretty much what it's for is there's two of those, one on this side, one on the other side, and you leave them open as you're driving down the road, and it's constantly pushing the air out, making sure that the gas fumes that your four-wheeler or dirt bike would otherwise be keeping in the coach are being constantly circulating the air and pushing that stuff out. You have your ON 4000 generator. It's a gas generator. Gas fill-up point. That's for the engine as well as the generator. They both go off of the same fuel source, so there isn't separate fuel tanks to fill up. You have your black tank flush, your Santa flush they call it. That's a nice feature. It goes right to that black tank and rinses it out with fresh water, so when you're dumping your tanks, you don't have to run a hose through your window down the toilet or dump buckets of water down the toilet. Moving along here, this is a nice spot to store your power cord. Wherever they could fit storage, they did. It's not the deepest, but again, 30 amp power cord stored in here, and it does go across quite a ways. So skinny long stuff will have no problem going in. You have your hot water tank here. It is a tankless system. It's an on-demand hot water system, so if you have a water supply, a water source, you're never going to run out. You're going to constantly have a hot shower the whole time. Underneath here, the reason I have the slide open, there's not too much. Right here you just have your dumps for your black and your gray tank. Right there is your propane tank, and then the last one's a little bit of storage. So not too much in the way of needing to crawl underneath the slide to get to that stuff. You have your city water connection here, where you're hooking up your fresh water hose at the campground, and your outside shower here. So you do have an outside shower water source. That could be for rinsing off the pets, you know, cleaning fish, or whatever you want to make it for. Moving on along here, again, side view camera, just the same as the other. Instead of being, you know, kind of cut in and mounted here, it's integrated into the mirror, and it's going to give you a better angle shooting down. All right, you're still with me? We've made it through the outside. Let's go into the inside. Much better. I have the furnace running currently. There'll be a few things to talk about as we start. Right when you walk in, you kind of have your main control panel. What this is going to be for is you have your slide room control here, your black and gray tank heaters. So these do have 12-volt heating pads, electric heating pads hooked up to those tanks. So if you're going up a mountain and it goes from 50 degrees to 30 degrees, you can flip those on and keep the tanks from freezing. Your water pump control. Again, if you're dry camping, you have a fresh water tank that you can fill up beforehand. You flip this switch here, and then you have water supply to your sink, shower, toilet. Your generator start and stop is right here. I can go ahead and show you. We do have enough fuel. All you do is hold down to prime it. Hold up. Fires right up. It's a very quiet, the Onan generator is a very quiet generator. I'm not even sure if you can hear it in the video, but it is running. I'm going to leave it running for a little bit. I have the furnace running right now, a bunch of lights on, and we're not hooked into any power currently. We're going to be going for a test drive. So keeping the generator running to maintain the batteries is a good idea. Down below here, first you have your countertop extension for the kitchen, give you a bit more space, as well as outlets, bunch of light switches. You have your main battery disconnect, and that is a solar control. That box down there, pretty much this is prep for a solar panel. If you wanted to put one up on top, the wiring is already run. Again, the control box is there. Pretty much would just be getting the panel and having it put on. As well as that very bottom is the inverter control. Moving along here, really nice features in the kitchen. You have your dedicated spot. You can actually fit a trash can in. You don't find that in all of these. As well as a big pots and pans drawer. Good sized cabinet as well. And they give you a convection microwave oven with extra storage as opposed to a standard microwave with the propane oven. More storage up on top. And these are all full extension. You come all the way out. Don't have to reach into the back anywhere. You've got remotes here for the several TVs that you have. Now, if we swing around here, some awesome features. I know, so you have two sofas on the same side. This turns in to the master bed, and it's as easy as pressing a button. So all you do is you grab these cushions out of the way. You come over to here. Now, if you're wondering why this has its own key, well, I'll tell you why. If you're sitting at the couch, you don't want it to turn into a bed, and somebody's accidentally pressing this button, they'd be bringing the bed down on top of you. So as a safety feature, you put the key in, turn it to the on position, hit the down arrow, and check this out. Lifts and drops powered. This flips down to become the support legs on the bottom there. And then this cushion, sorry, I know I'm running all over, picks up and then actually goes right in kind of to be the headrest and fill the gap. But very, very easy, just pressing a button. It's not a big pain like you see a lot of the hybrid sofa beds. And I'm putting away, same thing. Just press the button, lifts right up out of the way, and you put these back in place. You're good to go. So it takes a minute, maybe. You have storage underneath as well. Built-in drawers, so you don't have to lift up the couch to get to the storage underneath. As well as, if you see on both sides, you have USB charging stations and regular outlets with nightstands, and that's on either side of the bed. And then taking a peek at this one, this is the trifold, so it pretty much pulls out. I'll show you, because it turns into a good size. You don't even have to use the front bunk that we haven't even talked about yet for sleeping space. So how this works, pull up from here, pull out, that flips down. So that's one fold. Here's your second. And then these cushions that I just took off, they go right in. And then you've got a full-sized queen. It's very comfortable, and one of the best features is, as you can notice, you still have this big walkway. So you can have this drop down into the bed for guests, for extra people, and you don't have to crawl over the top of them to get out or get in, get to the bathroom. You have a nice, easy walkway to get to, which is really nice. And then putting it back, easy as flipping this up. Just like that. Reason I do that again is just to show you how easy it is. So although this doesn't have a permanent bed, it is two sofas set up. You can make either one of these the main bed if you'd like, and it's very simple to do that. Over here as well, another huge feature is auto leveling. You have your on and off switch. You press auto level. You don't see that in a lot of Class C's. This has it. It'll pick the coach up, level it out completely without having to pull up on any blocks of wood. Really a great feature to have, especially on a day like today where it's, you know, raining out and you get to where you're going. It might be on grass and soggy conditions. Not having to be out there on your hands and knees trying to get this thing level, just being able to press a button from the inside. It's a nice thing to have. You also have your thermostat here. You can see I have it set to heat. The propane furnace is running. It's about 70 degrees on the inside. I went from cold to now I'm sweating a little bit, but everything is set up where you'll set to the temperature you want it to get to. It'll get there, shut itself off, and won't run again until it, you know, either drops in temperature or increases in temperature, depending on if you're on the air conditioner or the furnace. So that's kind of this control setup. This also has the rapid camp feature, which is pretty much a wireless remote that comes with the coach, where you can control everything from the leveling, the slide room, the lights, the generator, right from wherever you're sitting in the coach. And again, that does come with this. So extra storage here. Check this one out because it is very deep. It's also a good spot for hanging clothes. Full extension. Lots more storage. You have your breaker fuse box down here, and then making our way into the bathroom. It's a nice setup. They have the toilet at an angle where you can actually sit on it without bumping your knees or your elbows into the cabinetry next to you. It's a stainless sink in there. You do have your controls for your hot water tank directly in there on the wall. And it is not a fabric curtain. The screen there pulls across, has a magnet strip on it to hold it closed, and you're not going to get water leaking all over the place when you are taking a shower. Moving towards the back, you have your TV. So this is almost like theater seating directly across from the couch. You have your TV up front as well, and you have the outside television. So 3 TVs in total with the coach. And then back into the garage. Come on back. A lot of cool things to talk about back here. It's something where you can really set it up to be whatever you want it to be. It's space that you can use for an extra living room. You can use it for the pet room. You know, you can throw a cot back here. It has its own air conditioning. And of course, you can use it, again, bringing your ATV, your four-wheeler, dirt bikes, bicycles, all of that good stuff. I guess we'll start off, just right up here. You got your light. You also have a bunch of storage space up top. Radio control. Storage up here. Over in this, you have a bunch of racks. These are all adjustable too, which is kind of cool. So these you can pull off, bring down, slide over, kind of adjust to whatever height you want it to be at. This does fold down flat against the wall. For more space to put stuff back here, you have the built-in toolbox. Really cool. The door that opens again from the outside, when it is open, these pull across. You have screens that'll cover it up, so you can leave that open, just be getting fresh air back here without too many bugs getting in. Hopefully, you have up over. I'll show you this vent here. And then if you turn around and point to the other corner, that vent. Table's going to be blocking you a little bit. But you open those up while you're driving to let air come in from here and then go out down there. And again, if you have the four-wheeler, the motorcycle in here, it's going to be constantly circulating the air through, not letting the gas fumes get into the rest of the coach. Over on this side, you have a charging port. You can have your motorcycle's battery hooked up, getting a charge, four-wheeler, as well as your ceiling light control and the spotlight on the outside. Those controls are right here. You also have, it is set up for a television. You can have one mounted, installed back here. And again, this could be just a whole bunch of different things. It's a really unique design, an awesome floor plan that gives you the ability to, kind of make this what you want. Down here, what you have is seat cushions. One for the drivers, one for the passenger seat. Those do swivel around, and when they do swivel, you want those to give you a little bit of knee space, so your knees aren't way up at your chin. As well as a curtain, privacy curtain for the front there. Tie downs in the back. You've got a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tie downs in the back here. So plenty of spots to get everything situated and get it strapped down so it's not moving while you're traveling down the road. You also have a vent here in the back. And no carpeting, nothing that will get beat up. This is like the vinyl lining, the stuff you'd see in the back of the pickup trucks. Very durable, easy to clean. It's going to hold up over time. I think we're about ready for the test drive. Folks, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to type them into the comment section. Don't hold back if you do have any questions whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and bring the slide room in. It is an electric slide system, so the thing to remember when you're doing this is hold retract until it is all the way in and stops moving. One of the great designs too, as I move the slide room in, that I'm reminded of is even with the slide room completely in, as far as it goes, you can still sit on the couches, get to the bathroom. There isn't anything that really gets completely cut off. If you needed to get to the garage in the back, you could just go through from the outside.
We do have a question about what the sale price is.
The sale price on this one is $89,995. Okay, so as you can see, you still have space to get through, to get to the bathroom, to kind of use whatever it is that you need to get to. Very nice. Also over here, a couple extra things. Cup holders. You have folks along with you sitting in the back here. First of all, there is seat belts underneath, but you have cup holders. You have outlets that pull up, 3 of them, 2 USBs, and then disappear when you're not using them. It's another great feature.
We have a question about the hot water gauge in the bathroom.
Okay. So what's the
kind of like what does it do?
So it turns your hot water tank. I believe this is a Girard system. It turns it on and off. It is adjustable, so you can kind of adjust what temperature it's on. But you just press on, it fires up that hot water tank. And again, it's not even a hot water tank. It's a tankless system. It's pretty much a bunch of like copper tubes in a coil. Water comes in one side cold and comes out the other side hot. So as long as you have propane and you have a water supply, you'll never run out of hot water.
So that's the control.
That's the control to turn it on. Correct. Yep. So when you're getting ready to take your shower, boom, press the button and you're good to go. You don't have to light anything outside or anything like that. Everything in the coach is just pressing a button, flipping the switch from the slide room, the auto leveling, you know, you name it, it's just flipping a switch. Nothing difficult to it. I think at this point, I'm going to do a quick lap around the outside, make sure I've closed up all of the outside compartments correctly. As a good rule of thumb, you want to do that before you drive one away. Again, just always good to double check. I'll be right back. And again, that whole time I was doing the presentation of the inside of the coach, we had the generator running, just to give you an idea that you know, it isn't really too loud at all. It's about the same noise level as the air conditioner. Nice feature that I haven't talked about to this point is the emergency start control. What that is, it's pretty much a self-jump. It's a way to connect the chassis battery for the engine to the house battery that power the rest of the coach. For instance, if you are driving cross country and you're in a Walmart parking lot overnight and you left your headlights on by accident and you had a dead battery when you went to turn the key, you can hold down that emergency start switch to fire up your engine drawing from the house batteries. So it's a nice safety feature to have. It also works in reverse to fire up the generator if you say left all your lights on accident and didn't have any house power.
How many house batteries are there?
2. 2 house batteries, 1 chassis battery.
And the house batteries are different from the chassis battery?
Correct. So the house battery are RB specific 12 volt deep cycle batteries that are designed to be able to run very low without hurting themselves. And then you have your typical automotive battery up front. Swing this right into a parking spot. See in the mirror there, but on both we're good. If there's a pull-through spot available, this isn't too long where it will extend past the pull-through spot. You'll be able to fit into a pull-through without any issue. Once you do this for 10 minutes, it's really easy to get the hang of. It's not much different than driving a long bed pickup truck. You're just a little bit taller, longer, and wider, but easy visibility, and anybody can do it. Customers of mine in the past that have been interested in motorhome toy haulers, a big part of their reasoning, well, first of all, you have to have, these aren't the biggest garages, so, if you have the side-by-side or, the full dress Harley, 2 Harleys, you're going to want something with a little bit of a bigger garage. But if you're bringing a 4-wheeler, dirt bikes, and, you don't have the truck yet to tow your standard towable toy hauler, to get a truck that can tow that, and then you add on the cost of a toy hauler, you could double what the cost of this is, and this is kind of everything in one, where you don't need to get those 2 separate things. You can save some money, get the motorhome with the built-in garage, and be good to go. It's a Triton V10, so it's a Ford chassis, Ford E450 chassis with a V10 in it. So plenty of get up, lots of torque. You can tow up to 8,000 pounds.
We do have a question about gas mileage.
You could be looking around 8 in that ballpark, 8 miles per gallon, and that depends on if you're traveling light, you don't have a lot in here, and you're doing mostly on the thruway, that could bump up to 10. If you're going up and down mountains towing stuff and you're fully loaded, it could go down to 6.5, 7, but somewhere in that ballpark. It is a big tank, however, as we arrive back. So you have, what is it? I always get these wrong by a few gallons. 75 or 80 gallon fuel tank, so you can travel quite a long distance without needing to stop and fuel up. It's not like you're doing that every couple hours. It is a big size tank. Any other questions, anything? I have a couple other things to point out, actually, if you want to scroll back to here. There is this HDMI mirroring port, so you can have your phone screen displaying on this screen if you wanted to, a USB charger, as well as 12-volt chargers. So that is up front. If you like this, are looking for something different, we do have other layouts. We have another Class C toy hauler. We have Class A toy haulers. You can look at coltonrv.com or leave a comment below if this is not quite what you're looking for. We have hundreds of different pieces of inventory. If you've enjoyed the video, if you would like it, share it. That would help us out. The more people to see it, the better. And again, if you have any questions, leave those down below and we will be sure to answer it for you. So any other questions?
That looks like that's it.
All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day.